Hello fellow remarkable women, and welcome to this week's wrap, taking you through the top stories for women throughout the week. I'm Shivani Gopal. It's Friday the 17th of April, and this week we're talking about COVID-19, revealing the power of women in leadership. Feminism, we ask the question, has it taken a giant leap backwards during the crisis? And the 3 key measures to lift social isolation in Oz. Let's get you all wrapped up. It's no doubt that COVID-19 has caused chaos across the world in people's lives, their health, and the economy at large. But it has also shone the spotlight on the power of women's leadership. This week, Tanya Kovac noted that there are just 16 women leaders out of the 193 UN-recognised nation-states, a measly 8%. And of the 10 nations who have successfully flattened the curve, women lead 40%. And while there is no doubt that the Australian government is doing a good job given their economic response and their results in flattening the curve, there are 6 other nations who are doing a better job than us. Taiwan, Senegal, New Zealand, Estonia, Greece and Malaysia. 67% of them have women leaders. Many may argue that you simply cannot compare countries like New Zealand and the United States. Their population and their economy are vastly different. And they're right. So let's take a look at Germany, another country with a female leader, and one that has done more tests per capita than any other large country in the world. For the stat lovers, that's 15,730 tests per million. Compare that number to the UK with 4,155 tests per million people. There's no question that the quick action of these leaders have saved countless lives. Traits that are known to women leaders, such as vulnerability, openness, empathy, and most importantly, a human-first approach. In addition to traditional leadership strategies like authority, execution, and strategy, come in spades with female leaders. But they know how to get the balance right, and the results are evident in the crisis that is known as COVID-19. Of course, we're not discrediting the actions of all male leaders. For example, Scott Morrison, who has led the nation exceptionally well throughout this crisis. But it is important to highlight the actions of female leaders whose leadership style is all too often under scrutiny. And now to our next topic of the week. Have we wound back the clock by a decade when it comes to progress and feminism due to the crisis that is COVID-19? Much progress has been made in the last decade when it comes to feminism. The Me Too movement, the gender pay gap, the glass ceiling, and the cultural divide when it comes to leadership. But COVID-19 has served us with much bigger problems. Our very lives are at risk. When the crisis abates, there will no doubt be bounds of gratitude for being alive, for being able to go outside and take a walk with people, for having a job and for having the ability to be paid a wage. So what will that mean for the progress that we've made towards gender equality? Will women be told they're lucky to be paid at all? Will we be told that we're lucky to be alive and to actually have a job? And so what does it matter if we have equal representation when it comes to gender balance in leadership? Will we be winding back the clock by a decade when it comes to our progress in feminism? Amongst this additional time of uncertainty, there is some good news. Most of the industries hardest hit by COVID-19 have women in the front lines, and the JobKeeper package will pay them 100%, if not more, of their usual salaries. At least in this time, those women will be financially secured. Industries such as tourism and hospitality will have that additional safety net. And if we look for the positive, our acknowledgement of the importance of our nation's frontline workers, supermarket employees, teachers, nurses and more are at an all-time high. And if there's anything to hope for, it is that this increased awareness of these frontline workers translates into additional financial improvements when it comes to the hip pocket once this crisis is over. And for our last topic of the week, is there finally light at the end of this long, dark, very isolated tunnel? In encouraging news, social isolation can begin to be lifted in just 4 weeks if 3 key public health measures are met. Dying to know what they are? A surveillance or testing regime beyond symptomatic cases. An increase to the industrial capacity of contact tracing technology, aka a big app, and a local response capacity. The National Cabinet will be working towards getting this in place over the next 4 weeks. And if they don't meet the capacity to relax isolation and achieve these goals, it will continually be measured in an ongoing cycle. Let's hope that the time to don some sunscreen and see sunshine on our faces isn't too far away. And that's you all wrapped up. Enjoy your weekend of Zoom parties, Netflix, and cook-offs. Until next week.